to Sean earlier. He said his training has gone well. He feels better than last year. He's still trying to find that fitness that'll get him on the podium. Very consistent shooter. He's kind of the backbone of the American relay.
So Claude finding his way up to second.
Still following Komat's the leader, but only 1/10 of a second back though. So he essentially tied at the 1.3 kilometer mark.
Of course with Otto and Venius.
So the competitors, a little bit kind of a lull and a quiet start to this individual, but things get very active very quickly in this individual competition as they come to the range. Here's Venius now. He's 4.3 seconds off the time of Komat. Not anything to really worry about. You really want to make sure those first 5 shots go down in individual competition. He's just kind of feeling out, seeing where he is. Wouldn't worry about those 4 seconds yet.
Nicholas Hartweg, the Swiss athlete, we struggled quite a bit with injury and illness, but looked very strong in his season opener. Second here in the individual 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, he likes this venue. It's his maiden World Cup podium finish on this exact course just about 2 years ago to the day.
We were speaking about this a little bit before the race got started, Chad, and there's always an opportunity, particularly in individuals, for it to throw up some interesting and unexpected results.
Absolutely. I think that this is always the opportunity. These individual competitions are always the best opportunity for somebody to get you wouldn't expect to get on a podium and shooting very well and then getting their first podium. And Hartweg is a great point as we see Brandt come up for the first time check. But Hartweg and David Zobel, who will go later in the day, Zobel will start 81. 2 years ago, they each got their first World Cup podium at this venue in the first individual of the year. So it just goes to show you that when they shoot clean, they both shot 20 for 20 that day, and these are the low-lying fruit for those athletes trying to get their first World Cup victory or podium.
You've seen Dmitry Shemaev get underway at 93% prone shooter last season as the first athletes making their way up the wall. David Komatz.
After a fast start, he's dropped way back now, 8 seconds back. So Komat's maybe getting the idea that maybe he's out a little bit hot on that first time check.
Dovzan of Slovenia, another athlete with very good prone shooting, 92%, but similar to Shemaev, can't quite back it up with the ski times at the moment.
First shooter in the range now, Jacna, who is sitting in second place behind Brandt at the 2.4 kilometer mark. Want to watch the graphics here. The wind has been a little bit gustier than we've seen in days past. You can see the red wind flags, and we should see the graphic as he comes in. There you see the wind speed is coming right to left. You really don't want a strong wind. It's only 3 kilometers per hour right now, so the wind dying down after we were thinking maybe it would be a bit of a gusty day. Now it's picking up to 6 kilometers per hour. But Jacna with a good first shot, misses the second. And we want to watch that wind graphic on the left of your screen as well as the graphic at the bottom. His time between shot 3 and shot 2 is 3.2 seconds. It's going to be long, 8.6 between that one, because he had to check out and make sure that his sights were on. And we're going to see a lot of this. 2 misses now for Jacna, and that's really critical in this individual competition. And unfortunately, these first starters are kind of like canaries in the coal mine. They're going in there, and everybody's seeing what's happening on the shooting range, and they're going to make adjustments. Victor Brandt, though, negotiates it very well, but he got a little bit more of a lull in the wind than did Jacna. So a little bit of, maybe a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit of bad luck for Jacna.
And that angle there, you can really see how gusty it is and how much movement is amongst the red flags. We're saying as well, it's a shorter course, but also shorter penalty time. 45 seconds is the penalty for any misses. Philip Horn, the 30-year-old, 7 years on the World Cup circuit, hasn't had the most secure place though amongst the German team.
He's always kind of had to earn his meal ticket, so to speak. He's from the Oberhof, the venue of the World venue of Oberhof. And Horn, very strong young athlete, but has has not been on a podium yet in his career's top finish. 4th place in the 24 season last year. Lenzerheide at the spring competition was his high water mark. He's been in the top 10 3 times. Now Emilien Claude. For the time into the range. He's got pretty nice shooting conditions. Almost no wind to speak of at the moment.
Leading the way coming into the range. Let's see what he can do with his first visit.
There's a miss already. That one was high at 11 o'clock. Other shots are right down the middle though, so that's probably operator error on that miss. No wind to speak of really for Claude, so that was just a jump on the shot. 5 kilometers an hour now is not a real huge, not a terribly tough wind, but still a miss nonetheless for the Frenchman.
You can hear the noise from the crowd and the chants as Otto Invenius makes his first visit.
Invenius comes into the range. 13.4 seconds back of the leader in the range. You can see he lost it. If you're watching the bottom, you see the 1.3 kilometer mark, you see the 2.4 kilometer mark, and Jorge comes in at shooting range. He came in 13 seconds back, but he's shooting very quickly and clean, so he's going to make up some of that time, perhaps that he lost coming into the range. The time now he's going to go past of the leader after shooting 1 bronze. He'll check into 4th spot, just 10.6 seconds back.
Good start for the young Finnish athlete. So Sebastian Stalder, a really quality shooter. One to keep an eye on as he starts his race is Sean Doherty of the USA. Blunt still leading at this point. This is Nicholas Hartvig making his way round into the range for the first visit. Yeah, held his composure incredibly well, Nicholas Hartvig. And it's paid off as he's into the lead.
Get a picture of the Norwegian. There's Vebjørn Sørum now, the first of the Norwegians out on the court, getting ready to start.
Yeah, this is 20th World Cup start. 4 podiums in that time. 9th in the IBU World Cup, or IBU Cup last season.
Sørum, just 26 years of age, kind of on the younger side of the Norwegian squad. He's a solid 80% shooter, but he had a spectacular finish in that opening mixed relay to take the win for Norway late in the competition. That's got to be giving him a little bit of confidence coming in. Now we're looking at the world champion from the pursuit in the World Championships in Östersund. Dimitro Panucci has one crowning achievement in this sport. Coming in 8.7 seconds off the pace. So got a little bit of time to make up, but the biggest thing is just knocking those shots down. Watching the cadence, 2.2 seconds from 2 to 3. 2.2 again, look at like clockwork. That's what you want to do. Just get settled in and do exactly what Panucci did. That is really good biathlon right there.
Hartvig into the lead in the 4-kilometer split as well. Leading by 3.8.
So Panucci comes, he's 8.7 seconds back coming in. Gave up a little time. He might have been in his setup. His cadence was plenty fast, 2 seconds per shot. Here's Andres Rostiguyev, one of the first big names on the start order, and he's clean. He comes in 5 seconds in arrears, but shoots clean and is out quickly. He's going to challenge the time of Hartvig. I think he's going to fall just outside of it, though.
Yeah, 3.3 behind as he exits the range. Golden rifle strapped to his back. Philip Horn now.
Horn, the new leader, coming in on just the first, just without any shooting having been done. 3.4 seconds. Has a shot now to take the lead as Brandon Zachna come in to shoot for the first time from standing further down the range. Nice solid first hit. Lot to watch here. Wind doesn't seem to be a factor. Right down the center. X-ring shot right in the center of the shot. Another one, really good solid shooting. Taking his time though. Closer to 3 seconds per shot, but well done. Had a 3.4 second lead, and he's going to leave very close to even, or maybe even just outside the time of Hartvig. Hartvig hanging out at the top spot still, and Horn will not catch Hartvig.
Yeah, Hartvig still laying down the marker as he goes through the 4.3-kilometer split as well. Jerry Longer though, just 0.4 behind him. Michel Kretschmar.
Kretschmar not in the best ski form at this point. 8.2 seconds off of a relatively not star-studded starting order up to bib 20, where Michael Kretschmar started. Again, these start orders a little bit different than what we're used to. The highest seeded athletes going in the third group, alternating with lower seeded athletes. We'll see the great Johannes Inges Bø start later in the start order than normal. He'll be 66 on the start today, so long time for him to come. But on the shooting rank, Kretschmar, nice cadence, clean. Will not challenge though, already past the time of Hartvig. So Hartvig, who has already had a podium finish here, is currently leading the early stages. Still 3 shooting stages to go though. A lot of work yet for the Swiss athlete to do to try to find his second podium here in Kontiolahti.
Emilien Claude in for his second visit, a missing 2.
That's a shame. 3 misses already in 10 shots, and he knows. You can see the dejection on his face. You know that feeling. You come in, you have so many high hopes for your first race of the year, coming in and you drop 1 in the first stage and you make it worse with 2 in the second. Now he's just kind of like basically turning this into an exercise of training almost for the rest of the season, to try to dig himself out of this hole.
Yeah, a quick look there at Quentin Fielmeyer, his teammates, who will be next to join the action. But Christoph Siemer. Jesper Nalen.
Nailing the first of one of the early B group skiers. There's been 5 B group skiers. Rostiguyev started that group, and Philip Horn was in there. Kretschmar is one of them. Sebastian Steller, now Nalin, so 5. And Invenius shoots well. Going through shooting 2. Victor Brandt is still leading with clean shooting after the second shooting stage, just to off camera discuss what's going on further in the race. But Invenius actually had 1 miss there. He'll clock in 4th fourth place, a minute 14 back. But Jesper Nalin with a chance to take the lead. He came in with a 12-second lead, and he's going to be very good chance to be inside. He's going to lose a little bit of that time he had coming into the shooting range because he'll pass 12 seconds here, but he still should be comfortably in the lead over Hartweg now.
Yep, and he is indeed. 7.4 seconds, the advantage that Jesper Nalin has. As he exits his first shoot, Maxime Germain, the French-born athlete competing now for the United States of America. He had a good ski on Sunday.
Won the silver medal at the Junior World Championships 2 seasons ago. So clearly in his age group he's quite good, but he's got a little bit of maturing to do yet, a little bit more experience.
Fabien Claude, his brother already out on the circuit. His best individual performance was here. That was back in the 2021 season, finishing second in the pursuit. Back to the range, Nicholas Hartweg.
So the pressure starting to build, 9.2 seconds in the lead. That's not surprising. Remember, we're jumping back and forth between later starters and early starters. Hartweg now into the second shooting stage of 4. Has a 9.2 second lead. Very deliberate, not too quick. 3-second cadence right now, 2.4. A little bit uneven on the shooting cadence, but perhaps feeling a little bit confident. Nice shooting by Hartweg, and he's going to set down he's setting down a great performance for everybody to chase. He's skiing well.
Well, he was second here 2 years ago. Has shown some really strong early season performances. And will come out 3.2 seconds in the lead. Back with Björn Solum.
So trailing by just 1.5 seconds. So opportunity here to move past Nalin, but he drops that fourth shot. So costly. It's just a sinking feeling in these early season races when you want to be perfect and you just lose the concentration even though you have a good cadence going.
Malachek his first visit to the range is Johannes Dali Shevdal.
Now we're getting into the big names, Ellen. Big names. Shevdal, the first of the big stars, and I have to point out his teammate Johannes Tingesbø will go bib 66. He's trying to chase down the 95 victories of Olander Bjørndal, and he's up to 85. He's trying to do it here today, and that is a big story we'll get to later. But two Norwegians now on course. Shevdal, the biggest hitter of them. He's third in the overall World Cup standings last year and a very strong skier, but this has not been his best discipline. Be nice to turn that around today for the Norwegian.
For his second visit after going clean on his first.
Not quite at the level of skiing of Hartweg. You can see on the graphic on the bottom, he's got 14.4 seconds in arrears coming in. So Hartweg definitely skiing better of the two. Both athletes clean through 5. Hartweg clean through 10 shots. So good.
Hartweg through 7 kilometers in the lead, but only by 1.9.
Pedrucci's clean as well. He's not going to take the time down of Hartweg, but he will likely move into the second spot. He's got 38 seconds to get to Shamayev, the time of the Romanian. But there's a lot of time there, Ellen, for that gap. As that gap grows to now almost 15 seconds, it's going to be over 15 seconds for Pedrucci. Somebody's going to come in and shoot clean and fill in that gap between himself and Hartweg. And you can already see that some of these skiers from the seeded group are already skiing faster than Hartweg. Tommaso Giacomel, the Italian, bib 54, getting ready to go to his start. These are really pensive moments this time of year. The first race of the year, always so much expectation put in. You've been training for the better part of 8 months trying to get ready for this competition, 7 months since the last competition, and you just have to try to put the nerves out of your head. There's Philip Horn now. He's clean through the first stage. Horn comes into shooting number 2 in the lead, 3.2 seconds ahead of Terry Longer. but he has a miss on the third shot. We're calling the breakout. So Horn will drop down the standings with that missed shot. Meanwhile, Didier Biathlon's on the shooting range for Italy.
And a miss for Biathlon as well, the 24-year-old. Part of the mixed relay team that finished 5th on Saturday.
Biathlon's really not matching the time of the leader, though. 9.6 seconds coming in, so he will drop down the order and waiting for somebody to challenge the time of Nicholas Hartwig after two shooting stages. Even after shooting one, though, Nelin, he's still coming to the shooting range for the second time. Hartwig was 7.4 seconds back as we go to Emilia Jacquelin to start.
Yep, Jacquelin on his way. Back.
Jakob Fak just not quite the ski speed. You see coming in 22 seconds. He's lost 22 seconds in the first 3-kilometer loop. He's a very good shooter, very fast. World champion in this discipline, but just as the years get on, he needs a few more races to probably get his top fitness back. He can still do it. Can still compete at the highest level. He had some good performances last year. Did Fak. Coming through the first shooting stage, he will check in the 7th spot, 15 seconds back. Here's Fion-Maillet now, coming in not a lot of time. I would have thought Fion-Maillet might have been a little bit quicker with it.
And a first miss.
Oh, goes to the sights. Not getting the wind graphic, but he clearly thought that he was off the center there. And that is just a tough thing to swallow that. And know that you missed that little detail as such an experienced athlete. Now Fion-Maillet down over 30 seconds with that first miss. Again, 45 seconds per missed shot.
Jesper Nalin.
Here is the story we kind of want to keep an eye on now. Nalin is skiing fast enough that we have to make sure that we keep our tabs on him.
Yeah, clean through the first shoots.
Leading by 21.8 seconds over current leader Nicholas Hartwig, who is clean. Nalin taking his time. Has an Olympic gold medal in the relay. That's the only major championship accolade, but there's a miss. Immediately, and a second miss for Nalin. Just a disastrous first standing stage for him.
Now let's drop down to Fabien Claude.
Claude skiing well. Coming into shooting one, just off the time of his teammate, Kontiolahti. Second faster than Nalin, but Nalin now we know has misses, and so does his teammate. So Fabien Claude now trying to take the lead at shooting number 1 from Jesper Nalin, and remember Nalin has 2 misses, so really not a factor. So even if Nalin is beating him at this point, this is kind of your leader, your potential leader on the course, even though he's back a few seconds now after shooting one in the second spot, 2.5 seconds back.
Eric Perrault next into shooting, looking back on the course in the current standings. Dali Shevdal going well through the early stages and breaking the line at 2.2 kilometers in the lead.
Well, we talked about the conditions being hard and fast, and you can see that in the ski times. The times between Fion-Maillet, Claude, Perrault, and Nalin, just 2.6 seconds over 3 kilometers. It's very tight. Perrault takes a shot, and he adjusts his position, feeling something not quite right, but now he goes into kind of machine gun mode and almost misses at 9 o'clock. He just tripped that target. Lucky for Perrault, and the coach is going to radio that information. Might want to take a little bit of a sight change for the second shoot if things stay the same, but with the wind flags moving as we've seen, you don't want to touch anything until you get a little closer and just remind him that he was on the left side of that target.
And he'll come out in the lead. There's not much between us at all. But Eric Perrault now in the lead. 0.1 ahead of Jesper Nalin, and here's Johannes Dali Shevdal.
Look at his time. He's set 1.7 seconds out of the ski time of the leader at that point, to Fion-Maillet. Or actually, it's based off Perrault now, because he's the leader after shooting. So 1.7 seconds back to Perrault. That's a little bit surprising to me. I would have expected Dali Shevdal to have a good 5 to 6 seconds faster time than Perrault, maybe even more. good cadence going, shooting relatively aggressively for an individual competition, and he's 5 for 5. He's got 11 seconds to get to the time check to take the lead from Perrault. And Ellen, who was our dark horse before we got on the...
Well, you did say Johannes Dahle-Skjevdal is someone we've got to watch, as well as Eric Perrault, and it is Johannes Dahle-Skjevdal who slots in behind him. Eric Perrault holding that lead.
Dahle-Skjevdal even behind Nelin by 1.8 seconds after that first shooting. Things very tight after 3 kilometers and 1 shooting stage. Perrault leading Nelin of Sweden, but Nelin had 2 misses from the standing, so we can kind of a little bit cast him out of the favorites. But Dahle-Skjevdal clean, Fabian Claude is clean as well.
Iliev.
Now the big stars.
There we go, Ståle Holm Lagerlid. His first visit to the range.
Lagerlid 6.6 seconds off the time of the leader coming in. The Norwegians do not have the ski speed that I would be expecting them at this point.
See Kaliabo as well, just starting his race, but clean. Lagerlid goes clean.
Good solid. This is what Lagerlid does. Lagerlid is very. He doesn't look spectacular at anything. He just does biathlon very methodically. He's not going to be leading, but he's going to be close enough to be leading. That's all he needs to do is get there, get 3 shooting stages in within 5 to 10 seconds, and then go clean when everybody else kind of falters at the end of the race. This is classic Ståle Holm Lagerlid biathlon.
Well, here's Martin Ponsiluoma, who had a big victory here a couple of years ago.
Just looking at the ski time, look at the time, 2.8 seconds out, Martin Ponsiluoma. The French team seemed to have the advantage on the ski speed, which tells me they may have nailed something on the waxing, and a miss for Ponsiluoma right off the bat. He won here last time. They competed in this competition, that was 2 years ago. It was a full individual, and he won with a miss. But he won't win with 2 misses. I think we are going to say adios to the story of Martin Ponsiluoma. We're not going to see him near the leaderboard anytime soon with 3 misses already on point number 1.
Well, those early misses so costly.
There you see the man.
There is the man himself, who could today go within 10 wins of Ole Anna Bjørndalen's individual victories record.
Ellen, looking at as Jacqueline comes in to lay down, looking at this coming into shooting the split times. France, 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 France. There's not a Norwegian in the top 5. France, 4 Frenchmen in Nelin, and then the first Norwegian, Dahle-Skjevdal Sørum. The French have good skis today.
They do indeed, and it took so long last season for a Frenchman to be on an individual podium. It wasn't until the last day of the World Championships, and that was Fillon Maillet in the 15-kilometre mass start. But you have to say the Frenchmen looking so confident over the course of the weekend already.
Look at Emilien Jacqueline coming in with a ton of confidence, knocking him down fast, and his time is going to be the fastest time to beat 3.4 seconds, 3 seconds exactly.
Whoa.
Jacqueline, the new leader at shooting point number 1. Still 3 to go, but the French are on fire.
Just slipping on that corner though. Here's Philippe Horn.
Perfect from the first prone. You know, 19 for 20 for Horn. If he can keep the ski performance up, he's 36.2 seconds back. It's a 45-second penalty. That tells you he's skiing well compared to the leader after 3 shooting stages. And he'll fall in behind Nicholas Hartweg, but Hartweg is clean. Horn out skiing Hartweg by just a bit.
Well, Johannes Tingersbø embarking on his title defence. 6th overall globe would draw him level with Bjørndalen's overall globe collection. And, well, this season, can he take the individual victories record, Chad? What do you say?
I think he can. He won 8 last year. So if he does what he did last year, he's not going to supplant that. But before I finish my thought, one of our big stars, Vetle Sjostad Christensen, leaves the shooting range with 2 misses, 45th place. The Norwegians are struggling. So maybe that's a bad omen for JT Boo on day number 1 of the individual campaign to take down the record of wins from his countryman Bjørndalen at 95. But, you know, he's his own man. The Frenchman, right now, he's going to have to do battle with this team. The French are absolutely lighting it up after...
They're
look at them go.
Absolutely flying. Clean with his second shooting, Fillon Maillet. It's Hartweg who will still lead at this point.
But look at the time he's made on Hartwig now. He came in 20 seconds back, shot clean. He has a miss in the first stage. Kontiolahti can now, with that one miss, it's a problem, but now he can kind of throw caution to the wind and just kind of go for it. He goes, okay, I had my mistake. Now I'm just going to get in my groove and I'm going to do what I do. And honestly, I think Kontiolahti kind of needs to do that. He's struggled since the Olympic Games where he was so good in 2022 just to find the confidence and the form. And I think it's more of a lack of confidence than anything from Fiume that he just has to realize that he's one of the best biathletes in the world and act like it.
Here is Fabien Claude into shooting 2.
Got a nice lead coming into shooting 2, does Fabien Claude. 18.2 seconds ahead of the current leader, Nicholas Hartwig. Not surprising. If he goes clean here, he's got over 30 seconds to get to that second time check, and he's clean as well. It's a French day so far in Kontiolahti.
The French are flying. Can they keep it up?
Time of Hartwig, 15:39.4. Fabien Claude is going to supplant that by a comfortable margin.
Yeah, he'll have plenty of space. 15.6 is the advantage.
I tell you, besides the miss from Kontiolahti in the first shooting stage, the French are almost perfect. Their skis are gliding well. Their confidence are flying high. They've won that relay on almost perfect shooting performance. And everybody else is left trying to find a game plan to take down the French right now. The French are looking the best, though.
Someone else we're talking about in terms of dark horse and someone we haven't seen much of as he comes into the range for the first time is Sebastian Samuelsson.
And he's skiing well. We knew that from the relay. He's 5.2 seconds in the lead coming in. Just have to keep it clean on the range, and there's a miss.
You can see Eric Perrault in the top of your picture, though. He goes clean.
And Perrault goes clean. 2 misses for the Swede, and that is just for everybody. And Perrault now coming to the time check of second shooting. He's clean. It's going to be tight between him and Hartwig.
Well, it's Fabien Claude who leads the way at this point now, and Eric Perrault, where will he slot in? He will be ahead of Nicholas Hartwig, but behind his countryman.
Perrault just has to now just settle in and not get too excited about the fact that he's there. Fabien Claude is going to be very, very calm about it. A lot more experience does Claude have. And here we look at Hartwig on the final shooting stage. Can he hold it together? Oh, he's got a miss. Got to put the backstop mentally on that miss. Thinking about it, and he drops it. Oh, classic biathlon. The opening up the door for everybody behind him does Nicholas Hartwig on the final shooting stage. That is a classic 20th shot right there.
So here's Talia Bo. .5 seconds back. Can't even, will likely not take the lead clean.
But Taryabo knows that even if he's back in the ski side, he can just keep chipping away at the time that he's behind as long as he stays clean. He is an absolute veteran. He'll come in to 13th spot for Bo. 15.2 seconds back. Thierry Longer now. Final shooting stage for him, and Thierry Longer, 19 for 20. We haven't been talking about him. It's probably not going to be enough to stay on a podium, but he will move past Nicholas Hartwig. Look at the time, 41 seconds. And the Belgian now, all eyes on him after the final shooting stage.
Yep, he will undoubtedly go into the lead at this point.
This would be huge if he could.
29.1.
Good performance for Longer. Look, Navrath now.
And Navrath goes clean.
See where that stacks up. He's already going to be behind the time as he leaves the shooting range. He's in plus seconds. Going to be about where Taryabo was. Bo at 15th. Navrath actually a bit ahead. He's going to come in just 9.6 seconds out. Navrath in 8th spot now. So after shooting 1, Jacqueline leads over teammate Perrault from France. Néline, who had 2 misses in the next stage, was 3rd. Daleshevdal 4th after first shooting stage. And Emil Stransheim, who we've not talked about, clean as well, 5 seconds back in 5th. Here now is bib number 50 coming in to shoot the first of two standing stages in the second stage, Emilien Jacquelin. He is your leader after the first shooting stage, but only by 3 seconds over Perrault, and we know Perrault is clean a stage ahead of him.
Jacquelin into shooting 2.
Taking his time for the first, 15 seconds. It's pretty slow to the first shot. But now, and that was what I was worried about. Just getting too much into a rhythm that's too fast. But in his defense, that is how he's used to shooting, and he just let that one shot fly.
Well, here is Johannes Tingersbø.
No surprise, leading by 7 seconds, but what is a surprise is not that much time. 7 seconds, you'd expect Bø to take about 10, 15 out of the field. And he's clean and perfect. He's trying to make his way from 85 to 86 wins today is Johannes Tingersbø.
He will take the lead. There won't be much between it, though. 5.7. His advantage at shooting 1. Disrupting the French party at the top.
The great thing about the seeding group is that Johannes Tingersbø at bib 66, we kind of know that all the big threats are now out on course. And you can follow that story.
Vetle Sjåstad Christensen. 2 misses from his first visit to the range.
129 back coming in. Tough place for him to be right now. He's just kind of racing for pride, trying to go clean from here on out. Maybe work some magic and come from the backside where people drop a few shots, and maybe 18 is the winning score. And he goes clean from here on out. He might find himself in contention in the last lap. That's all he can do at this point is wait for others to miss and stay clean.
All those early misses leaving things out of his hands at this point. Just a Strelo. 2 misses.
And Strelo knows that he needs to be his perfect self. He's the best shooter, second best shooter on the World Cup statistically last year, and he starts the day with 3 misses. Absolute dejection for the young German.
It's so uncharacteristic for Justus Strelo.
Well, we know that we're not going to get a challenge from him lately, Phil. I had him circled as one of the guys later, starting behind you, Johannes Tingersbø, to have a chance at winning, but 3 misses, he just can't ski that off.
Marceau Jacquemel, under 25 last season.
Coming into the shooting range in 5th place. Going to see what his shooting puts him. Not getting his graphic though. Jacquemel leading the shooting range. We'll hit the time check at the end of the range. See if we get the graphic. We're watching our Jacquemel is right in the middle of your screen in the blue and white suit of Italy. As you see the standings after shooting number 1, Johannes Tingersbø with a small margin over Emilien Jacquelin. The only one who's clean through 2 though is in the top 3 is Perrault. Johannes Tingersbø still has to shoot, but we know Emilien Jacquelin had a miss in that second shooting stage. Maxime Germain clean, 22 seconds back in 17th after shooting number 1. That's a good start for the American. Here now is Fabien Claude, leader after shooting number 2 into the 3rd shooting stage. Claude comes in with a 20-second lead. But remember, that's just the people ahead of him. He's got to beat the people behind him too. Really in the flow right now is Claude. Just got to not give him any smelling salts. Stay asleep and just do what you do. And there's the first miss, the first chink in the armor. And that's going to be costly for Claude. Let's see where that puts him in as he comes to the time check.
Well, here's Sebastian Samuelsson, who has already dropped 2 from his first visit.
You know these competitions, you can miss a couple in the first and then
And there's another though.
Can't afford 3 misses. Nobody can really afford 3 misses in an individual.
No, he's such a quick skier, but he won't be able to make that up.
So of the stars who have missed shots, I think that Christensen is one that can still come back. He went 2-0. If you can go 0-0, you might find him near the leaderboard at the end of the race. The 2 ways to, but you have to, with that strategy, if you miss a couple early, you absolutely need some of the stars to miss late. And Johannes Tingersbø is very good at not missing late and holding on to the win. So the door open for the great JT Boo to get win number 86. Lagride, 14.4 back at the 8.4 kilometer mark. Second place right now.
Back to the range with Eric Perrault, who's gone clean so far. This is third visit, starts off well. 2 for 2. And young Eric Perrault keeps things going for France. While his teammates falter, it's Eric Perrault who finds himself in a very good position. Let's see where he comes out here. Shooting 3.
New leader, I think. Oh, it's going to be tight.
It's going to be tight. Just, it's this fractions in it. 0.1. Eric Perrault leads at shooting 3.
Called that a little early. I didn't realize that it was coming up that quickly, but he is still in the lead, but it's very tight now. Hartwig is kind of out all by himself. Bib number 11 just floating out there with clean shooting into the last shooting stage, but then misses the 2. We know, we already know the story ahead that Hartwig has 2 misses, but this guy is 19 for 20. What a great performance for bib number 12, Thierry Langer.
28 seconds. He will top the table by with 10 athletes now over the line. As we head back to the wall and Johannes Tingersburg. .6 seconds as he fights his way up the wall. Johannes Tingersburg doing what he does best.
The thing about the individuals, you have to put everything into context. Every split time, he's only 5 seconds up on Jacques Alain, but Jacques Alain has a miss. We know that. Perrault is really the guy who's clean, and he's 8.7 seconds back. But that, to me, tells you how good the French skis are. Eric Perrault just 8.7 seconds back of Johannes Tingersburg with all shooting being equalized. That's an amazing performance by the French.
Delahom Laglide.
He's in leading.
And he's clean as well. Shooting 3. Can he hold his nerve?
Classic. This is what Sturla Hogum Lagride does. He just grinds everybody down mentally. He just remains. He does nothing spectacular. He doesn't ski brilliantly fast. Doesn't shoot brilliantly fast. He just does good biathlon. And now look, he's going to be rewarded with it with a 6.7 second lead over Perrault. He knows that he just has to keep it under the red line skiing and maintain his control with one more shooting stage. And then it's him and Perrault basically head to head in elapsed time on that last shooting stage for the win. And JT Boo coming together.
Look at where we are in terms of the standings at shooting 2.
Cameras have completely missed the shooting of Stromsheim. He's leading by 4.5 seconds over Fabian Kohl. We'd love to see him on the pictures, but we'll be sure to mark him on the next shooting stage as he comes in number 3. But here's shooting stage number 2 for the favorite in the yellow and red bibs, signifying the World Cup leader in this discipline and in the overall last season, trying to make it victory number 86. Clean through the first stage. Not
it's a miss though.
Oh! Huge development, stop the presses. JT Boo is now going to have to turn up the ski speed to make up that miss.
Jacques Alain also has 1 miss to his name. And now it's 2.
Oh, 2 misses. Puts him even though on the shooting with Hartwig. He's going to be beating Hartwig, but 2 misses, you just need to hold together. And right now, Eric Perrault, to me, is looking very good for the win if he can just hold together on that last stage and not think about it too much.
Well, the French team spoke a lot yesterday, yesterday and also the day before, about how close they came to that historic achievement of going clean until the final leg of the relay. As
check out
Lucas Hofer goes clean.
Hofer's clean 3 for 3. This could be a podium finish. Oh! 1 miss for Hofer. It still might be good enough for a podium and maybe the win if Lagride and Perrault both shaking their boots in the last shooting stage. So coming out of nowhere is Lucas Hofer. All those misses from everybody else in the last stage, Hofer comes in clean. 1 miss. It felt like he gave it away, but he may not have. See where he is time-wise compared. Hofer would have been up on Ader, so Simon Ader, who we haven't seen, is now leading clean after shooting 4. watch for Ader on the last lap. He's got 3.1 seconds on Longer, who's already in the finish. Regardless,
Christensen. And he's recovered well from dropping those two in the first visit.
Not over yet for Vetle. Vetle knows it. And he is such a tough competitor. He had those 2 misses, clearly disappointing, but look how deliberate he's been in the last 2 shooting stages to get back into this race.
Fiomaye in the top corner of your screen, and we'll now go on board with him as he goes clean in his final visit.
Oh, he's skiing fast too. Look at him pick up the ski time. Came into the shooting range 44 seconds down, but lots of misses. He's got to take down Ader, who's clean on the day. He's going to have to be almost a minute and a half faster than Ader skiing to take the lead here. You see the time of Ader, 32:50.9. And Kenton Fiomaye will be the new leader. You can see he's going to have about 20 seconds on the Austrian. He should only put more time into him over the next 3 kilometers.
Tommaso Giacomo. That's his 3rd visit, shooting 3, and he goes clean.
So looking at this, just kind of handicapping this. He's got 2 misses. He's not going to be among the leaders now. He needs some time to dissipate those 2 misses he had. But if Giacomo can remain clean on the last shooting stage, he's still in it. So is Vetle Sjostad Christensen. But really, everybody chasing Sturla Holm Lagride and Eric Perrault, who have yet to shoot their final stage. They're clean through 3 shootings, as is Simon Ader. But Ader now supplanted by the 2 misses from Kenton Fiomaye. Fiomaye leading by 21.6 heading to the finish. Here's Stromsheim. We haven't seen him yet. He's clean through 2, coming in to shoot 3.
He finds himself in a really good position.
Shooting conditions have been pretty good, Alan. We have not seen a lot of missing due to wind. Stromsheim trying to just keep it smooth, keep it consistent. Nice solid hits, right in the center.
And it's perfect.
12 o'clock center hit on the last one. He's absolutely inside. Prone shooting is done. It all comes down to managing your mental state for Endre Stromsheim. He's got an opportunity here. He's going to take the lead from Lagride, his teammate. Out skiing Lagride. That's a great performance by Stromsheim.
14.3 seconds up as we join Sebastian Samuelsson, who has struggled today immensely through the range. 5 misses. It's not been his day at all after 2 podiums over the weekend. He performed so well representing Sweden as part of those teams. But today, when it comes down to the individual competition, he hasn't hit the mark.
Flying on the skis, though, he's under 2 minutes back with 5 misses. So watch out for him in the first sprint. Here we go. Eric Perrault. Can he stay clean? He's got an ocean of time over the field coming in. 43 seconds. And you just can't think. Just go in your mind. Pretend you're training on a summer day.
1 to go. And he misses right at the end. It was so close for Eric Perrault. Almost faultless until the end. But where will he come out?
The tongue goes out. He knows that he may have just squandered his second World Cup win. He won in Soldier Hollow late last season. Where does Perrault come in? Perrault opening the door now for Sturla Holm Lagride. 4.1 seconds though. Perrault behind Kenton Fiomaye. He has 1 less penalty. Shevdal way out of it with 4 misses already. Final shooting stage for him.
And a miss to start things off. And another miss as well. It's all fallen apart for Johannes Dale Shevdal.
Well, you put it into 3rd gear and come home. That's all you can do at this point for him. But really, the Norwegians are battling the Frenchmen. It's Kenton Fiomaye and Eric Perrault after shooting 4. And Perrault, 1 miss on the day. Johannes Bø has 1 miss so far. So Bø, advantage Bø right now. And Sturla Holm Lagride still coming to the final shooting stage. He's clean 3 for 3 stages. If he can clean this last one, it's probably going to be a battle between himself, the 2 Frenchmen, and JT Bø if Bø can keep it together.
Johannes Bø in 3rd, going through 8.4 kilometers. Sturla Holm Lagride for shooting 4.
If anybody gives me confidence that they can pull this off, it's Sturla He's so good at this pressure situation. This is nothing new for him. He's won multiple times with this kind of pressure. And he absolutely loves this individual. He's a world champion in this discipline. Starts with a hit. Big lead, 53.9 seconds coming in. Takes his time on the third shot, but gets it. Measuring his performance.
He goes clean. Stella Holmlagride will come out with a big advantage here.
And he knows now that it really comes down to just the great one, Johannes Tingnes Bø, with anyone behind him that has a really good shot at taking this time down. And this is a huge lead over Fionn Maillet, who had 2 misses on the day. 47 seconds for Sturla Holmlagride.
Martin Ponsiluoma hasn't had a clean visit to the range yet. Can he end on, well, what would be a high in terms of shooting? He can't. Well, he's really struggled today. He would have wished to replicate what he did here 2 years ago, a shake of the head.
Yeah, Sweden are really not registering much. Here is Johannes Tingnes Bø now in his 3rd shooting stage. He's got 1 miss on the day. Really, with his ski speed, he's still 7.4 seconds back. He's not obliterating the field on the skis like we're used to seeing in years past. He needs to be perfect from here on out, or it's going to be his teammate Lagride with the win.
He goes clean, but it is Stronsheim and Lagride who will be still leading at this point. First and second for the Norwegians. Where will he come through? Well, he does slot into second, so it's a Norwegian 1-2-3 at shooting 3.
Good point. I forgot about Strømsheim. He's still coming to the last shooting stage. My bad, Ellen. We have to remember Strømsheim's clean as well. Lagride is not out of the woods yet. Totally slipped my mind.
Well, he's someone we haven't seen a huge amount in terms of the cameras. He's sort of gone under the radar, but he does lead by 7.3 seconds over Johannes Tingnes Bø.
So all eyes on Strømsheim in bib number 56. This is after 3. He had Lagride by 14.3 seconds at the last shooting stage. So Strømsheim looking for his 2nd World Cup victory of his career today. Trying to put the French in the back seat.
Well, it was the French who were having the party at the top through the early stages, but a series of errors. It's now Norwegian domination at the top. Fionn Maillet over the line.
Fionn Maillet by 36.7 seconds, but still, look at Terry Langer. Got to feel good for him. He gets supplanted as well just a few seconds later by Jakob Falk, who's 19 for 20. That's a great performance for probably not going to stay on the podium, but still, nonetheless, a 1 missed day for him.
35, 36 now athletes over the finish line. Sjoster Christiansen, well, he has recovered well, hasn't he, from those 2 misses in the first visit to the range.
Let's look where he is on time. He's not going to take the lead, but he is going to be, he's about 30 seconds out of the time of Eric Perrault. I thought maybe he would have a shot at Perrault, but he's not skiing fast enough. Going to be a top 10, and that's a good turnaround from being way out of it after number 1.
Jacamel. His final shoot.
Comes into the shooting range in ninth spot. That miss is probably going to be tough to absorb. 2 misses, it's going to drop him down out of the top 10. Here's bib 40 now to the finish.
Fabien Claude. 2 misses.
Trying to take down the time of Falk. It's going to be very close between him and Falk. Oh, Fox is going to get him by a little more than 2 seconds.
So into 3rd for Fabien Claude.
Good performance by the French. Jakob Falk hangs on to 2nd spot. Fionn Maillet still leading, but Sturla Holmlagride has Fionn Maillet at the 13.3 kilometer mark by 50.5 seconds and heading towards the finish line. Here's Strømsheim now for all the marbles. World Cup win number 2 it would be for Strømsheim if he can hit all these shots. Has an 18-second lead. 19 for 19.
20 for 20. And he's done it. It's a brilliant shoot.
I think we're looking at the leader, Ellen. He's got to keep it together. He's going to have about 25, 24 seconds when he comes through the time check. Somewhere in that range. 23.6.
And still, Sebastian Samuelsson, I just have to draw your attention to it, still has not gone clean. All his visits, he's dropped at least one. It's been a really challenging day for the Swede as we're back with Eric Perrault, who's now driving towards the line.
Perrault had moved past Fabien Claude, trying to get on the podium when all is said and done. He'll move likely in the second spot. Yet he's gonna beat Fox to the line.
Yep, he's into second, 11.9 seconds down. Pushing Fabien Claude, his compatriot, down into fourth as we have another shot of the wall. Glide. His final lap.
He looks good.
Well up on Fiormaillet. 50 seconds, the advantage of the Norwegian.
Putting big time on the on the Frenchman. Good start for Lagride, but it's probably not going to be enough as Stromsheim just looks too strong on the skis. He's got 23 seconds to Stromsheim after shooting 4. That's a lot of time for Lagride to try to make up on a guy who's statistically about the same ski speed, excuse me.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on where Stromsheim comes through. 14.4K, that's his next checkpoint.
So things kind of winding down here on this men's short individual as Sturla Holm Lagride comes towards the finish line, bib number 46. Been a solid day for him. So good at this 4 shooting stage individual competition. Lagride with historically best at the 4 shooting stages.
And here we go, he'll turn into the finishing straight. It was a 50-second advantage at the last checkpoint. He will go into the lead. How long for? That's the question. And it's a 46.5 advantage. Sturla Holm Lagride into the lead. Where though will Stromsheim come through?
Stromsheim's going to need to have a horrible lap for Lagride to get his 5th win. He'll likely sit in second at this point. It's just Tarjei Bø now with 3 misses on the final stage. Not sure what happened to the bulk of the Norwegian team. Stromsheim and Lagride are perfect on the day, but Tarjei Bø with 3 misses on that final stage.
Same question going the way of the Swedes as Martin Ponsiluoma fights his way towards the line. No clean visits to the range. Dropping 3 with his first shooting. 4, almost 5 minutes down. Just half a second off that 5-minute mark. 37th he'll finish. Not his day at all.
It's a long day with your thoughts out there when you shoot like that in a biathlon race. I know from experience. I've done a lot of that. But those trips to the range that are so disappointing, and then you left to marinate in them as you're skiing this long distance race. Here's Emilien Jacquelin now, bib number 50. Can he get? He's trying to stay in the top 10 with 3 misses on the day.
Gritting his teeth as he pushes towards the line. And it will just be, for now, a top 10 finish. He goes into 9th.
First athlete with 3 penalties on the day, but that's a dubious honor. And here is the final shooting of Johannes Tingnes Bø. Leading by only 1.5 seconds coming in. He's got to be clean, perfect here. And he's got to find a little bit more ski speed than he's had so far on the day. 4 for 4, 5 for 5, 19 for 20. It's not a dominating ski performance, but it's enough to maybe take that 86th victory of his career.
It's going to be really close. Coming from a little bit further back before the checkpoint as well. He won't go through in the lead. But it will be second, 7.8 seconds down.
Well, he knows what he's got to do now for that 86th win. It's 7.8 seconds is the gap. I got to tell you, Ellen, he does not look in his top fitness. We saw the early season races from Norway. He didn't look very good there either. You expressed some concern to me about that, and I said, don't worry about it. He always finds his way back. He may not be bouncing far enough back on his fitness that he's expected to, because he is definitely in a fight for this win with his teammate Stromsheim.
He is indeed. As we flick through the lower order, still within the top 30, these athletes. This is shooting 4.
Should point out Maxime Germain from the United States, 19 for 20, currently sitting 14th at the finish. That would be a hallmark, huge personal best for him if he can hang on to the top 20. Ziggy Mazet, the reaction, the mastermind behind the shooting performances of this Norwegian team. He's got a mixed bag today, but he's got guys in position to win. He's got Stromsheim here, who is now trying to take home his second victory in World Cup competition. He's perfect on the day. Those 4 zeros, such a nice thing to see as an athlete. 21.3 seconds back. He looks great.
Yep, and he is up. So that's the final time checkpoint before the finish, and he has gone through 21.3 in the lead. Well, it's a huge gap then from the glide back to Fillon-Maillet. It really embodies the struggles that the French team had out on the range.
Look how close it is between Stromsheim and Lagrade in these last loop. At 13.3 kilometers, 21.5 seconds. At 14.2, 21.7 seconds. At 14.4, 21.3 seconds. They're wavering about 0.4 of a second between the two of them. Stromsheim seems to have enough to take down Lagrade. They're skiing almost identically on this last lap.
Will it, however, be a Norway 1-2-3? Stromsheim in the closing stages. A 21.3 second advantage. And Johannes Tingersbo at the last checkpoint, they both went through. 7.8 was where he was behind. Stromsheim, will he be able to lay down a time which is unable to be challenged by Johannes Tingersbo? He's done all he can for now. Stromsheim over the line. 24.2 ahead of his compatriot Lagrade. Where now is Johannes Tingersbo?
The great thing for Stromsheim now, he's done everything he can. It's all up to Johannes Tingersbo to see how this plays out, but he's got to feel great about what he did. It was solid performance, very good skiing, even with Lagrade, and actually pulled another 3 seconds out of him in that last few hundred meters. So a good finish by the young Norwegian Stromsheim.
Yeah, no doubt it will be a podium, but upon which step will he be stood on?
You know, Ellen, I was just thinking back up to about 35 minutes ago, and how we were lauding how great the French were doing and how poorly the Norwegians seemed to start. But, you know, this is why you race the whole race. This is why you compete the whole competition and you wait till the last shot is fired, because the Norwegians have flipped the tables on the French in the second half of this race.
Yep, and a look of Vitaly Manzin, who has gone clean. He's into 4th. His
huge.
final lap now. This is it was a big performance over the course of the last couple of days in the relays for the Ukrainian team. And well, if they can have an athlete finish just off the podium in 4th.
Got Pedrucci in 8th as well, so the Ukrainian, 2 guys in the top 10 right now. And just to point out, Vitaly Manzin sitting in 4th, his personal best in a World Cup is 31st, so this would be a huge jump forward for him.
Well, we were saying that just earlier on, weren't we, Chad, about how often particularly the individual event can throw up some surprises, and well, it's something we love to see.
2 Americans in the top 20 right now. Campbell right in 20th. Maxime Germain in what was it, 14th. So we didn't see them in the competition, but the young American guys, they both won medals together at the Junior World Championships 2 years ago in the same event. Now sitting in the top 20. Great performance by both of them.
Another look at Stromsheim coming over the line. He has done all he can, holding top of the table for now. And we are waiting on Johannes Tingersbo to come through 14.4 kilometers. That is when we will be able to gauge a better idea of whether that gap has changed at all.
It's close. We have the 13.3 kilometer mark. We missed it on the camera, but Johannes Tingersbo came through 13.3, 4.7 seconds back of Stromsheim. He was 7.8 leaving the range. Here's Taljabo now.
Yep, Taljabo, who was 21st going through 14.4. 2 minutes 58 seconds down.
Should point out those 3 misses in the last shooting stage were his only 3 on the day. He went clean 3 times. We missed most of his shooting, but Sensing he had an opportunity, dropped it in the last stage.
Yeah, 20th place for Kontiolahti. With his younger brother fighting his way up the wall, and he's down 3.3. It's going to be incredibly close. Can he find those 3 seconds?
It's gone down. He started this loop with 7.8 seconds in arrears, got to 4.7 back at 13.3, now 3.3. He's not making the time in huge chunks like we're used to seeing him do it. It's a very even match ski-wise right now between Johannes Bö with about 0.6 of a kilometer, 600 meters to go. It's 3.3 seconds, the amount he's got to make up for victory number 86.
Now that's over the line, 19th for now. And here he is, Johannes Bö. A win today would put him within 10 of Bjorndal's individual victory record. He's going to have to dig deep. He'll round the corner here. You can see the clock ticking down. Johannes Bö driving towards the line. The clock is ticking down. Will it be Stromsheim? Will it be Bö? There's not going to be anything in it at all, and it will be second place for Johannes Bö. He couldn't find it in the closing stages. Stromsheim will take the victory. It will be a Norwegian 1-2-3, but it won't be top spot today for Johannes Bö.
You could see it in the numbers, you could see it in his legs. Just doesn't have that spectacular ski power that we're used to seeing. He still was 45 seconds in arrears on shooting, was Johannes Bö, but he just didn't look like the Superman we're used to seeing. And Stromsheim sneaks the win from the teammate, and Lagerheide finishes his third. And here's Manzin now trying to stay in the top 5, where he was 4th at the last time check, trying to hold off the time of Kontiolahti and push the Frenchman out of the top 4.
Well, you can hear the cries from the coach behind. This would be a brilliant performance if he can stick within the top 5. Shooting clean. It's been a brilliant day for the Ukrainian. The wind really in their sails after a good weekend in the relay. Vitaly Manzin towards the line. Fiolmaye occupying 4th at the moment, and Manzin will go 4th. A brilliant result.
Yeah,
his best finish in a World Cup by a huge margin.
Those are great days. These stories are wonderful, especially this what's great about the sport of biathlon. Manzin with a perfect shooting day goes 1:03 out of the lead into the top 5, into the first flower ceremony of his career, and you gotta give him all the kudos. Just 21 years of age. That is a huge performance for a guy that age, and it's going to really put some wind in his sails for his future.
Absolutely. What a result for the young Ukrainian. Young Gunter of Poland.
Nice shooting for him, 18 for 20.
It's the higher bib numbers now coming through the range for the final time, shooting 4. Well, Chad, now we've seen the majority of it, the new IBU start group rules. What do you make of them?
I like it. I like the flow of the race. I'm not sure how the athletes are going to feel about it. I know the athletes felt like it put the top athletes at a little bit of a disadvantage. They had their ability to voice their concerns about it, and they have. As we see Jussi Strelo now coming through. But I like the flow just from the perspective of being a viewer and a fan and a commentator. I think we were able, and the producers of the television pictures were able to make a little bit more sense of what we were seeing. It's going to be a huge a mixer of of images that are hard to follow. I felt we followed that much easier than we have other individual competitions in the past. I'm all for it.
So Jussi Strelo, very out of character today. His shooting, missing 6. Best shooter on the circuit last season, a total average of 94% accuracy.
Still watching for possible spoilers out there. You still got Zabel of Poland. Trying to threaten a top 20 finish. Good 87, good 99 here. This is another Polish skier. It's Andrzej Kubiniec, a longtime member of the Polish biathlon team. Probably the most experienced of the Poles. Coming to shooting number 3, so still some athletes not even to the final shooting stage yet. Nice clean shooting for him.
Yeah, 103 starters, wearing bibs up to 104. We've had 67 through now. Final few athletes coming through, shooting 3.
Slots into 53rd spot for Andrzej Kubiniec. Shooting number 3.
Yeah, just 5 more athletes to come through, shooting 3.
Adam Reynolds of Canada with a nice shooting performance. 26, top 30 place for him. He'll slot in right by Campbell Wright. Campbell Wright right now for the United States in 27th, Reynolds in 25th, so getting the better of that North American battle. Still Maxime Germain sitting in 20th position with a 19 for 20 shooting performance, 221 back.
Welcomed home.
35th for him, 19 for 20. That's a great performance. Got to hang his hat well on that. I was just going to say, as he was going across the line, Tero Seppälä, the top local Finn, is currently in the finish line in the 18th spot with 2 misses on him. Jake Brown now from the United States. Brown with 3 misses on the day, trying to get in the top 40. Top 40 get points and get ranked. You need to be in the top 40 to get a point on the day to actually mark yourself in the rankings. Jake Brown trying to do just that. Fall just outside that space.
Well, you were talking to Campbell Wright earlier on today, Chad. What do you think? We posed the question a couple of days ago about what he would want from his season, but what's he said to you on that matter?
Well, he really struggled. Campbell Wright struggled with sickness last year. Some great performances late in the year, but his point was that if he would just like to not be sick this year, and he thinks if he does that, he'll be happy with the year because he thinks what will come of that will probably be some pretty spectacular performances. Not really on the ski form today. He had 19 for 20, actually out-skied by his teammate, Maxime Germain, but sometimes these early season races are used to kind of prime the pump, and you kind of need them to maybe get to your top form. As you see a smiling Jake Brown, now a veteran of the U.S. Biathlon team, a 2022 Olympian from the great state of Minnesota, my own home state. Jake Brown, interestingly enough, ran for the Ollies of St. Olaf in cross-country running, with a national champion in Division III NCAA running. So a good foot runner is Jake Brown as well.
Jeremy Finello, the 32-year-old.
8 misses on the day for Finello. Just trying to ski it in.
Yeah, he's really struggled with his shooting accuracy, particularly standing as well. Just a 59% standing shooting accuracy last season. 64th he slots into, but you can see that the glaring mark is the 8 next to the flag of Switzerland.
Well, Finello is a very fast skier. In fact, if they want to do anything, if Switzerland really wants to light it up at the World Championships in a relay, they need Finello to step up and hit some shots, because he is statistically 4% faster than the average speed of the field. That is a good ski time for anybody. No American skis that. Finello, if you can improve that 60% standing shooting from last year, 59% standing shooting, then they've got an opportunity for 2 great things as a relay with Burkhalter and Hartweg and Stalder. They've got a foursome that is capable of medaling in a relay, but it has to go perfectly.
Iversen. Another of the Swedish athletes who missed 6. Seems to be the not so magic number today for the Swiss athletes.
It's not a good magic number. Not a good magic number if you're the Swedish coach. Yeah. Iversen has 6 penalties, but Iversen just a young athlete, just getting his feet wet on the World Cup. his ninth start today, just 23 years of age. So for him, it's just chalking it up for experience. And you need to have that experience. You probably need. You can't really expect a great, unless somebody's an absolute prodigy, you can't really expect a lot of great performances without at least about 15, 20 World Cup starts at the minimum, just to get used to the setting and the noise and the fact that you're racing against the best athletes in the world. It takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, just for nailing the leading Swede, 32nd, missing 4. 3 minutes 10 off the leader.
There's Arttu Heikkinen now in the local Finnish team. Got so far 5 misses if he can hit this last shot here, and he'll finish the day with a 75% shooting score, plus 5 right at 5 minutes out, and just bringing home again, getting more experience, much like a lot of these athletes at the back of the field. 80 now, Jan Gunka.
Jan Gunka coming towards the line. 36 he'll slot in at.
Right now, one better than his best ever finish. He's 37th in Östersund last year in the sprint. That's his top World Cup finish, so maybe a personal best for him if he can hold off David Zobel, who just came across the line for
and he can. Zobel will go in at 53.
Zobel was on the podium here 2 years ago in this very event in the longer form, but he was perfect on the day, so far cry from that today for the Germans.
Yeah, no Germans within the top 20 today.
Planko with a good performance, top 24 for him from the Slovenian team. Planko.
Just behind his teammate Dovzan.
He's got a personal best of 9th at the World Championship site in Lenzerheide last year. He had a hot weekend there where we finished 9th and 21st in the sprint and pursuit combination. Also 26th place in Canmore. Those are Planko's 3 best competition marks. Here's Alexander.
So just 10 athletes to go now through shooting 4. A clean shoot so far for the Slovakian.
Yeah, this could be something special for him.
Well, this is just his 4th World Cup start.
Oh. Got a feel for him. He's so close to a clean shooting stage. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. You need a couple of experiences like this for the young Jakub Borgula of Slovakia. Get a couple of experiences of having that, staring that 20 for 20 performance in a World Cup down. Maybe miss it this time, but next time he's at 15 for 15, maybe he'll get those 5 shots.
Yeah, still just 20 years old. 3rd in the Junior Cup last season.
That's a good omen for the Slovakian team. They've really not had a superstar male athlete ever, and those Junior Cup standings for Borgula could manifest into something in the next 5 years for the young Slovakian, that Slovakia may have their first big star in the men's biathlon.
Yeah, he's on the team that finished 14th on Sunday in the relay. Minutes back through again, and clean on his final shoots, his final visit. So 19 out of 20.
It's good biathlon by Nezja Kubinets. Sitting in, coming into shooting 4. I'm trying to see where he was after shooting 3. He's going to move up the standings though.
Yeah, and at 46. 1 lap still to go.
He's Canadian now. Logan Pletz.
He competed mostly in Yes,
Mowed
a brilliant way
down.
to end out. Mostly on the IBU Cup last season. He did end the season though on the World Cup for the races in North America.
What's coming through, going to be in the, going to get in the top 60. He's going to follow David Sobel by, we're actually going to supplant David Sobel by about a second. That's the Canadian, just it's 25th World Cup start for him. Cesar Beauvais, the Belgian team.
Cesar Beauvais struggled at the end of last season, losing 9% standing accuracy over the course of the season in comparison to the season before. He'll be looking to get himself back on track this time round.
This is Marcin Zabol of Poland with a 19 for 20 shooting performance. That is a great performance on the range for the Pole.
Top 50, coming in at 49.
Not sure what that's about, but we'll stay quiet.
I'm loving the celebrations. It has to be said. We've had some excellent celebrations over the course of the last couple of days.
I mean, Jacqueline channeling
dropping
Steph
the Steph Curry, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I saw that on social media. Final two shooters here. Final start on the day. Konstantin Vasiliev on the shooting range, and he'll face these 5 targets, and that will pretty much close the range down once he leaves. Got a solid performance so far. 3 missed shots. We can get 85% with the 2 hits here. That'll drop to 80, and then down to 75, and that is the look of, I know how that feels. Had it going well, and there's 103 and 104 together. He's got Kirill Bauer from Kazakhstan right behind him.
Dombrowski. 55. 2 misses. Losing his first 2 visits, going clean in his final 2 loops around the range. Heikkinen.
Just looking at the standings here, these will determine the yellow and red bib for winner of the discipline and leader of the World Cup. Stromsheim will get both of those, but then Maxime Germain might be the blue U23 World Cup leader after today, sitting in the spot. I'm just going to kind of run through here. Actually, I think
we're going to have a sprint to the line as well, and that's the difference being on home snow makes is Arttu Heikkinen found that extra bit of motivation. Roared on by the crowd in stand 8.
Good performance by the Finn.
Athletes yet to tackle the wall for the final time. Keva. 18 out of 20. Only making his debut this year as Sklenarik. Over the line in 65th. He actually had his best finish here back in the 2022-23 season. That was 45th, unable to break the top 50 today though. Plenty more action to come for the fans here in Kontiolahti. And for those of you watching from afar, And tomorrow at the same time for the women's short individual, 12.5 kilometres. For sprint and the mass start to round out the weekend. At number 98, and the last to start, just his 4th World Cup start. He'll go in at 46. That's not a bad effort at all.
Not at all.
From the Slovakian youngster, just 25.
Yeah, Ellen, just looking at the results here and what looks like, I like to look at personal bests at the end of the day. We know who won the big event. We're going to celebrate them momentarily. But Ukrainian with a huge best, Vitaly Manzhin, drops his personal best from 31st to 4th today. Thierry Langer comes in, finishing with 19 for 20, 9th place for him. That is bettering a 15th personal best prior to today. So Maxime Germain from the United States, a personal best of 45th before today, comes in 20th with a 19 for 20 shooting performance. So, and then looking at the U23 bib, it looks as though Manzhin will take that blue bib this year they dropped it from under 25 to U23, much like there are a lot of other sports in the Olympic movement. And it looks like Manzhin will get that blue bib at the end of the day for the Ukrainian team. And that's going to be a point of celebration for the Ukrainian program.
Oh, absolutely. An exceptional performance. Just off the podium, but his first flower ceremony. And it has been a day for the youngsters, as we just saw. This is actually his first individual start. As you mentioned, 3rd on the World Cup, or the Junior Cup last season. He's 20 years old. As all the athletes now through 14.4.
Near miss on a personal best. Also, Yosha Burkhalter drew attention to him earlier. The Swiss athlete was the top Swiss athlete on the finish today. Actually supplanted Hartwig, who was among the leaders. Burkhalter went 19 20 and he's finished 12th. Whereas Hartwig ended up 17th at the end.
Great noise coming from the dedicated fans who have now crowded around that front row of the stand to call every single athlete home. Los Angeles, Greek athletes starting the race over the line, followed closely by César Beauvais, and Beauvais starting further down the order will go in at 51, just outside the top 50.
Into the triple digits now, pin number 100. Dujin Choi of Korea.
His best performance of 58th in Ruhpolding. Outside of 5 minutes behind the leader though, and it will be a finish around the 70s, 72. Vasilev of Bulgaria. His 20th World Cup start today. Still 21 years old. The final athletes, I believe, across the line.
Seuraavalla kilpailulla, eli naisten lyhennetty normaali kilpailu. Tässä Vasilevin maaliin. Ja
Kirill Bauer of Kazakhstan, the last athlete over the line.
Erinomaisissa olosuhteissa päästiin kilpailemaan ja jännitystä kyllä riitti.
And that concludes the first individual event of the 24-25 BMW IBU World Cup season. Will be a all Norwegian podium. Stromsheim taking the victory from Johannes Tingesbø. 3 seconds the difference in the end. Ståle Holmlagleid 24.2 down on his compatriot. But Norway have arrived.
Yeah, I think as you look at the Norway at the top, it's not as dominant as we have seen in the past. I think I was expecting a little bit better ski performances from Norway. It's still, you can't shake a stick at being first, second, and third. I'm not going to try to downplay that at all. And I think it really was it was incumbent on the French to keep their shooting together at the end of the stage if they want to take on the Norwegians. They look like they might do that early on in the day. They came out with really good momentum off that relay win, but then just kind of had little mental lapses. You know, Perrault hit 19 for 20. 20 would have put him on the podium ahead of Lagride, and the French are shut out of the podium with those little misses at the end. The Norwegians in the end, Stromsheim clean 20 for 20. Boo 19 for 20. Lagride 20 for 20. It's going to be hard to beat Norwegians. When 3 Norwegians go 1 miss total between the top 3, it's going to be a hard time to get on the podium. Even when Johannes Tingesbø clearly not on the dominating ski form that we're used to seeing him. He did not ski much faster than I expected. He only outskied Sebastian Samuelsson by 3.3 seconds. And Jeremy Finello for Switzerland was the 3rd fastest skier on the day. But other than that, the Norwegians were not blazing fast on the skis. They did it all today on the shooting range, and you got to hand it to them. Tip of the hat when the French looked like they were coming on strong and pressing them.
So you can see the results flicking through your screen there. Confirmation of all the athletes down to the final across the line. 103 completing the individual event. We did have one DNS. And now preparations underway for the podium and the flower ceremony as we take a look at the total score. And no surprise there, after just one event, 90 points going the way of Stronsheim. He will be taking the yellow bib away from Johannes Tingesbø, who wore it as the overall total score winner, of course, from the end of last season, wearing it for this first individual event.
Yeah, a little bit of money prize money goes along with that. Wearing that yellow bib, every time you start with a yellow bib, you get a little shot in the arm financially, and that's going to be nice for Ender Stromsheim. He's never worn that yellow bib, and it's a really huge honor, even though it's the first race of the year. Anytime you wear a yellow bib as the leader of the World Cup, it's really a pretty awesome thing.
And you can see the under 23 there next to Campbell Wright. So we will, as Chad rightly said, the blue bib now drops down to under 23. And we will highlight those athletes as we go.
It should go to Manzin today as a 21-year-old, and what a great thing for them. As you see Stromsheim, we go through his performance. Just super solid biathlon. He comes in with good fitness, confidence in the relay, gets the nod for the men's relay start. They don't win the relay, they lose to France, but still Stromsheim comes into this individual and just does classic, pretty good biathlon, what the Norwegians expect from at least somebody in their camp, and they had 3 guys do it well today, and they're all 3 on the podium. Much like the start order today, there's a slight adjustment in the points standings. The points not really different from last year. 90 points for first, 75 for second. But they're giving this year 5 points extra to third place, another 5 points extra from third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. All get a little boost in points from last year. That was after a study done by the Athletes Commission in the IBU to award a few more points to the people in the top 10, and that adjustment was made based on our recommendation, and the IBU took it and ran with it. So slight adjustment in the points totals for each of the places between 3 and 9 on the standings. Lagride Another 20 for 20, almost a win for him. 24 seconds back, gets third spot. And Johannes Tingesbø was not able to do the expected today. I think in 9 times out of 10 over his career, if he was 7.8 seconds back with 3 kilometers left to ski, he would have taken the win. He didn't do that today, and that leaves a little bit of a question mark. Not a huge question mark, but it leaves a question mark open for the rest of the season. And when is he going to find that fitness that he would have made up that time like past years?
So next time we will see the men in action will be for the 10K sprint. It's on Friday.
Andrew, congratulations. That was just a phenomenal competition. How does it feel, and what are your emotions right now?
I'm so happy, and it's just a huge relief because I was really nervous before this season because it's so hard to be in the region. We are 7 guys, and it's like all 7 guys can win the World Cup every race. So it's crazy, and I was not sure about my shape. It has been a little strange these last days. So, but on the first loop, I felt okay. Today it's better, and I was really confident at the shooting range. So even though it was some wind, I knew what to do all the time, and I just got more and more confident during the race. And in the end, I thought, okay, today it's possible to go for the win, and it's also the yellow bib. So, it's huge.
Actually, you are now the Norwegian guy who is going to wear the yellow bib in the next competition. Not a bad start of the season, huh?
No, it's a dream. It's a dream. So yeah, I'm so happy. It was the perfect start for me this season.
Enjoy it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Strong time. And he mentioned there, of course, the pressure of being a Norwegian. It's something that I think every single one of them, all 7 of them, have mentioned over time. It was Johannes Tingesbø on a brilliant interview yesterday that's up on Biathlon World. Spoke about how it's the Norwegians who will always push him the hardest. He mentioned a couple of the nations, didn't name any names, but he said that in reality it is always the Norwegians, and today it's Stronsheim who has picked him to top spot of the podium, Chad.
Yeah, well, those comments are pretty prophetic. It is tough to be a Norwegian, but it's also great to be a Norwegian. When you're on the national team and you get on the airplane and you're wearing that Norwegian national team jacket, you know you've arrived at the top of the sport in this sport if you're even coming to the event in the Norwegian camp. And nothing proves that more like winning the opening World Cup individual race with 1, 2, and 3.
So the top 6 having their bibs adjusted, they're ready for the podium and the flower ceremony. He's just being hidden there, as we do see him now. Vitaly Madsen wearing 65. What a day for the Ukrainian youngster.
Yeah, he's probably pinching himself. But the great thing about this, it gives the Ukrainian program a shot in the arm. They have been good in the past. And Madsen kind of delivers some rays of hope for a country that is obviously under a lot of stress other than sport. And a nice little bit of news to send home to Ukraine.
Stolaholm Laglide taking 3rd place. A clean shoot, finishing 24.2 down on our eventual winner, Stronsheim. And a huge cheer for Johannes Tingesbø. We will be handing that bib over to the man next to join him on the podium.
I always think it's interesting. I wonder what Johannes Tingesbø how he actually feels about his performance. I think he knows that his ski speed has to come up a little bit to dominate like he has in the past after today's performance. Still a solid one, 19 for 20, but it makes me wonder.
on the Trondheim. Up onto the podium. Trondheim taking the first individual victory of the season. Norway 1, 2, 3. They have arrived, as Chad has mentioned. Still some questions there about the form and the dominance. Of that man who will hand over the yellow bib. Trondheim takes the victory here in Kontiolahti. Johannes Tingersbø with the silver medal around his neck, and Stålholm Løgleid the bronze. Well, an equally big cheer there for Vitaly Manzin. Theon Maillet finishing 5th. And Eric Perrault, who led for so much. And a really strong performance. Just slipping away from him in the end, finishing 6th. They'll receive their gifts. A huge step up, a huge performance for Vitaly Manzin. Never finished inside the top 30 before. Finishing 4th today, collecting big points. And wearing the blue bib as the best under 23. So here we go. The Trondheim will pull on the yellow bib. Johannes Tingersbø watching on just beside him. He'll be hoping it won't be long until he gets his hands on that bright yellow bib. But for now, it is his Norwegian compatriot who is the new total score leader. And we'll take the extra prize money that yellow bib brings. Come on, boys, says Johannes Tingersbø.
It's funny, any other nation who swept the podium would be having an absolute celebration. It's almost like situation normal, Norway 1, 2, 3 for the Norwegian team.
Well, we spoke about it, Chad, and you rightly brought it up in that it is Norwegian 1, 2, 3, but they have taken potentially a little bit more time than expected to arrive here in Kontiolahti and the opening week of the BMW IBU World Cup. They do, however, then take a clean sweep of the men's individual podium. But questions still about the form of Johannes Tingersbø. There's plenty of eyes on him. We've all hyped him up, haven't we, to break the records. We've all got eyes on the records. The stats are there. Everyone's counting down, particularly, when we get to within 10, which is what he'd have been hoping he'd have reached today in terms of trying to challenge Bjørndal's total victories record. Not quite able to do it today.
And while they go 1, 2, 3, the depth of the team didn't do as well. I think there might have been the skis might have not been as absolutely good as they could be. This is what they got, but they still managed to go 1, 2, 3.
So we have completed the first individual race of the season, and we will be back tomorrow for the women's short individual. Kicking off at the same time, 4 Central European time, for the women's 12.5k short individual.